As you're watching this video, I probably survived the outbound flight of our family vacation. And to be honest, there's a good chance I spent it doing something that I wish I didn't. Not taking care of my child, not enjoying the trip, but rather double checking my every move and act, wondering, are people judging me? Do they think I am a bad mother? And then I realized something. It wasn't just happening on airplanes. I do this in supermarkets. I do this on the street. I did this throughout my pregnancies. Somewhere along the way, I stopped being just myself and I started to performing what I thought a good mom should look like. If you ever felt like you're parenting for an invisible audience, this video is for you. From the moment I became first pregnant, I felt like my body became a public property instead of being my own private one. Everyone could have an unsolicited opinion, advice on anything that I was doing. I became this object that people can just stare, judge, or just give random advice to. And therefore, I started to act as everyone was judging me. And I was constantly wondering if they think that I should exercise less, or I should not drink that cup of coffee, or I should not let my kids this loose. And I was just constantly worrying about other people's comfort and thoughts. I started to judge ourselves, me and my son, with things like, are we being too loud? Is it okay to be like this here? What other people might think? And then I started to perform instead of parent my own child in my own way that would felt good and easy for me. I started to perform for those strangers, for that invisible audience. And therefore, I moved from this internal compass to this external validation. And whenever I went out on the street, I immediately felt like I am on a stage performing and I had to please everybody and I have to move the way I have to look and act the way as a good mother supposed to be and look like. And the danger was that my attention actually shifted from what my child and me would need toward what might strangers think of me, which is crazy. So I was reliving my teenage years all over again. Do you remember in some of my videos, I was saying that matrosence is actually similar to adolescence? Now it comes back again. So I feel like I'm doing my adolescence all over again. And I actually also realized that I love to go out to forests and to the nature because then I know that there's just only us and no one can see us. And therefore, I am so relieved that I won't be judged and I can just let loose and be myself. And now, as I'm talking to you, I also realize that I love when my husband is coming with us because then I feel the responsibility on me is lower. And then I somehow feel that I'm not judged that much because my husband is also there. And since he's a man, he probably won't get that much judgment. So this is a pretty deep and underlying topic that I might talk on another video because this is just so interesting to see how I feel about myself as a woman and how I feel about my husband as a man getting judgments and opinions from strangers. So let me get back to that in another video. If I would only go to places where there's nobody around, or if I would rather go only with my husband to anywhere and I prefer to stay at home, That would be actually kind of wonderful for my introvert self, but this channel and my life's mission is about growing and overcoming limiting blocks and ultimately having a fulfilling life as a mother. So I needed to get my act together because this performance is not the way I imagine to have a fulfilling life. So, how to stop performing and start parenting in your way? First of all, be confident. They actually don't know you, they don't know your child, and they don't know your circumstances. So you are the confident mother there, and you know what is best for this situation, for your child, for yourself. And people probably just see you through their own point of view. So everybody is seeing the world from their own perspective. So maybe they were judged the same way as you think they might judge you, and they just didn't release this block yet. And they are just still carrying this approver and judgment block. Because if someone is judging you, it says much more of that person's upbringing, values, experiences, fears than about you. And you should also separate the facts from the stories. So the facts might be that your child is crying in the supermarket and someone was looking at you. These are the facts. But the story in our mind can go like, do they think I'm a terrible mother? Do they think I should leave? Do they think I'm irresponsible? And you see, this might not be the reality at all. The fact was that someone just was looking at you because there were some sounds coming from the direction of your child, and they only saw 10 seconds of your life. You know what happened before, how your child's temperament is at the moment. They cannot make a solid judgment in 10 seconds. So you should not believe to whatever they might say, because they were just making a judgment of this 10 seconds of your life. And as I just said, they probably are judging themselves, and you are just happen to be a projection of it. You just happen to be the wrong place at the wrong time, and you trigger them in some way that you are not responsible for. And you are also not responsible for other people's opinion. It's really not your business. And ultimately, they might not even think about you. They might not even judge you. Maybe it's all in your head. I know about myself that I like to think that I am the center of the universe, but to be honest, I'm not. So they probably didn't think about me and my child at all. Probably they were thinking about their days, their bosses, their wives, or the football game that they will watch tonight. And there's just a big chance that the judgment was just in my head. So how will I break this judgment block? Is that next time when I notice that I think that someone is judging me, I'll ask myself, am I responding right now to my child or to this invisible audience? And then I will try to reframe the experience in a way that I don't need strangers to agree with my parenting for it to be good parenting. So, girls, I'm done performing for an audience that maybe doesn't even exist. Hopefully, you can be done with it as well. Please like this video and subscribe to this channel, and I see you in the next video.